Seems like even dating companies in China are rejecting the women who are left out.
Actually, I later thought about it. Why don't the matchmakers want to introduce me to someone anymore? First, it's because I'm getting older. Second, it's not that no one has introduced me to anyone, but rather that I've passed that age. When I was in my early 20s, matchmakers were eager to introduce me to guys every day because they could also get something out of it, like a few boxes of cigarettes. But now people think, what do you want me to introduce? You're over 30 and still haven't gotten married. So, you think you're excellent, but actually, what you consider to be important, like your annual salary, height, and everything you think makes you a good match. Those who were truly compatible with you have already gotten married. And the ones who are left are either much younger, or those in your age group are either already married or...
I would marry her, but that opinion isn't relevant to the video. Let's take a look at the numbers to better understand what's happening in the matchmaking market in China. By 2024, the sector's revenue is expected to reach an impressive $1.21 billion. This shows that the market is far from slowing down. The forecast is for it to continue growing at an annual rate of 1.29% until 2029. This is a clear sign that the demand for matchmaking services is on the rise. So, what's driving this transformation? Urbanization is a key factor. Many young professionals are so busy with their careers that finding partners through traditional methods is challenging. And it doesn't stop there. The search for someone with aligned values and life goals is growing. That's why more people are opting for services that offer compatibility algorithms and personalized assessments. While the online dating market continues to grow, traditional matchmaking agencies are also adapting and becoming more selective, especially regarding women over 30. It's a dynamic and evolving market, and these numbers show how much it's expanding.
Now many matchmaking companies refuse women over 35 years old. Why? In reality, the situation is really not very friendly to them. The fundamental reason for their rejection, in my opinion, is that men who can impress women aged 35 or 36 can also impress women in their early 20s. I have worked with quite a few clients like this, and most of their demands are quite strict, and they consider themselves very excellent. A few days ago, a 34-year-old female client contacted me. She said she wanted to find a man aged between 33 and 37. Her requirements were relatively not so harsh. I asked the matchmaker to try inquiring with other male clients, and one response from a male client left a deep impression on me. He said that the mother of the last match he had met was only 39 years old. And the reality is just as mentioned. When we hold offline matchmaking events, I often feel inferior compared to those male clients who are more experienced. Men who are willing to actively engage know they must meet the current societal economic standards for men before they will actively pursue it. In fact, men often analyze their strengths and weaknesses rationally and can clearly see what they truly want. That being said, it's not only the matchmaking market and reality that are not very friendly to these women, but it seems that matchmaking companies are even less friendly. These clients, who are not well regarded by many companies, are often targets for certain matchmaking institutions that use fake profiles to deceive them. The harsh reality is that there are very few suitable men for them, even those in the same age group. These women are often not within the consideration range of potential partners. It's not about selling age anxiety. If you take a look at the matchmaking market in Chengdu, you'll see that for women who want to get married, whether through dating or matchmaking, it's better to start early. It really gets more difficult as you get older.
I am 36 years old, and I shared my conditions for a blind date with a matchmaker. But she didn't say anything, just turned around and left. And now she doesn't want to introduce me to anyone anymore. Are my requirements really that high? I truly don't understand. I think my requirements aren't excessive at all. Today I'm going to share them with you, and everyone can help me assess. My first requirement for the blind date is a dowry of 500,000 yuan. Women, throughout the entire marriage, are the ones who give the most, so it's necessary to have some financial security. The second requirement is that the man must have a stable job. I don't ask for much, just a monthly salary of 20,000 yuan. The man can be divorced and have a child, but it must be a girl, and the child cannot live with us. She can be raised by the grandparents. The third requirement is that my mother raised me alone, which wasn't easy, so I want my mother to live with us. Otherwise, the man would be irresponsible and lack filial piety, which is very important. The fourth requirement is that the man's salary should be handed over to me every month. Half of the 10,000 yuan I will save, and the other half will be for daily expenses. The fifth requirement is that the man must be at least 1.75 meters tall, physically well proportioned, with decent looks, no bad habits, a kind heart, and must know how to care for others. The sixth requirement is that he must have a house and a car. I don't ask for much from the car, but the house must be in the city, with at least 3 bedrooms and 2 living rooms. It would be ideal if it were near the city center because after we get married and have children, it will be more convenient for schooling and the future development of the children. These are my requirements. Do you think they are too high? I believe every woman has these needs and thinks about her future. For women, living well is more about marrying well. So, I don't think my conditions are excessive, but the matchmaker said my requirements were high, and I really can't understand that. Could you help me assess whether my requirements are too much? This year I am 32 years old. As for my criteria for matchmaking, no one even introduces me to potential partners. Are my requirements too high? I don't think they are high at all. Let's take a look. Yesterday, my cousin went to a matchmaking event and made several demands. She said, "First, I require a bride price of 320,000 yuan because after marriage, I will lose my freedom. I will be the one making the most contributions to the family, so I need money as security. Second, the man should have a monthly salary of 20,000 yuan. The man can take care of the child, but it must be a girl, not a boy. After marriage, the child cannot live with us. Third, after marriage, I want to bring my parents and siblings to live with me. Men who don't care about the family of their partner are irresponsible. Fourth, the man must give me 10,000 yuan of his monthly salary as personal spending money, and another 10,000 yuan for living expenses. Fifth, the man should be over 1.70 meters tall, under 36 years old, have a good appearance and good character. Sixth, he must have a car and a house in the city. The house should have at least 4 bedrooms and 2 living rooms. So, do you think my criteria are too high? I don't think so at all. What do you think of my cousin's demands?" Hello, good evening everyone. Today I want to share something with you. I was chatting with my mom today and mentioned that in just over 3 months, I will be 26 years old. Then my mom said that there is a woman in our village who is 29 years old and still hasn't found a partner. So she went to a matchmaking event. The person she met was 30 years old, and when they met, the man asked how old she was. She replied that she was 29, and his reaction was quite significant. He said, "Oh, 29 years old. We're not compatible, sorry." And then the man just walked away. When I heard this, I was shocked and a bit scared because I thought, wow, is a 29-year-old woman already being dismissed like this? I found it quite frightening. My mom was very worried and it made me anxious too. I feel like I used to be young, but now I need to face my age. I don't want my romantic life to be a rush. And I also don't want to be a high-risk mother. But what can be done? I believe that matters of love depend on fate, right? It can't be forced. I hope that our future marriage will be happy and wonderful, and not something rushed and done just to please our parents. I saw a video recently that said once a woman is over 30, she is often dismissed and devalued in the eyes of many people. Is that really true? I don't know how you all feel about this. Well, that's it for today's video. See you next time. Bye. A 30-year-old woman with a master's degree in Shenzhen not only has a high level of education but also earns a high salary, around 30,000 yuan per month. Moreover, she doesn't ask for a dowry. But why, after multiple blind dates, has she still not found a partner? Actually, as a 30-year-old woman with a master's degree, her requirements for a man aren't that high. She has only one requirement, that the man has a house in Shenzhen and has savings. During the dating process, men discover that although this woman earns a high salary, she is quite extravagant and spends money recklessly. Despite earning around 30,000 yuan a month, after working for many years, she still has no savings. So, after dating her, none of the men want to marry her. Even though this woman doesn't ask for a dowry, the men who go on dates with her are deterred. I remember a male friend telling me that mature men have only 2 main criteria when choosing a wife. The first is that the woman should be honest and capable of living a simple life, without being impulsive or materialistic, taking care of the household and sharing the responsibility for both the family and life in general. In other words, if we have money, we live comfortably. If we don't, we live modestly. The key is to face life together without complaining. The second criterion is that the woman should have good character, including good principles and personality. Good character means being kind, always having a grateful and content heart. Although everyone is somewhat vain, this vanity should have limits. And it's important to know when to be content. I believe that regardless of gender, marriage is one of the most crucial steps in life. We must carefully consider who we want to spend the rest of our lives with. Financial status and appearance can be considered, but they should never be the main criteria when choosing a partner.
As we saw in today's testimonies, we've reached the same conclusion as in previous videos on similar topics. In the end, what truly drives this dilemma in the Chinese relationship market is often the high standards that women have regarding men. Let's be honest. It's understandable that Chinese men prefer younger women. Even if older women have a good appearance, in the eyes of men, they are still seen as inferior compared to younger women. Why would these men make an effort to meet all the demands of these older women if they can't even give them a child, which is something essential in Chinese culture? Here in the West, we might be more flexible about having children, but for Chinese men, it's more advantageous to meet the demands of younger women. What do you think? To be honest, I still don't have a fully formed opinion on this topic, and I would love to hear your thoughts. If you like this video and want to follow more important discussions like this one, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share your opinions in the comments. Let's keep this conversation going. See you next time.